Hello and welcome to English with Confidence. If this is your first time here, I'm really glad you found us. Sometimes, a quiet place can teach us more than 100 conversations ever could. Last time, Anna had just met a kind stranger who helped her after a small accident on the street and mentioned a bookshop nearby, worth visiting. Today, Anna finally walks through that door. For almost a week, I thought about that little bookshop the woman had mentioned, tucked away on a quiet side street. Part of me wanted to go immediately. Another part of me hesitated, worried that stepping into a new place, alone, meant another conversation I might not handle well. But one slow Saturday afternoon, with nothing else planned, I finally walked down that quiet street and found it. A small wooden sign above the door read simply, "Books." The window was full of old paperbacks, their covers faded from years of sunlight. I pushed the door open, and a small bell rang above me. The shop smelled like old paper and something warm, maybe tea. Shelves reached from floor to ceiling, packed tightly with books of every size and color. Behind a worn wooden counter sat an older man, reading, glasses low on his nose, a book open in front of him. He looked up and smiled. "Welcome in, take your time, no rush at all." I nodded and wandered slowly between the shelves, running my fingers along the spines of books I didn't recognize. After a while, he spoke again, gently, not intrusively. "Looking for anything in particular?" "Not really," I admitted. "Someone told me this was a nice, quiet place. I'm still new here and still learning English, so I thought maybe some simple books could help." He nodded thoughtfully, stood up slowly, and walked toward a smaller shelf near the window. "These are good for that," he said, tapping a row of thin books with large print and simple sentences. Short stories mostly, easy to understand but still meaningful. I picked one up, flipping through a few pages. The sentences were short, clear, and surprisingly comforting to read. "Thank you," I said. "This is exactly what I needed." "Take a seat if you like," he said, gesturing toward a small, worn armchair in the corner. "No obligation to buy anything. I just like having people around who enjoy reading." I sat down, a little surprised by his warmth, and opened the book. For the next hour, I read slowly, sometimes stopping to think about a word I didn't know, sometimes just enjoying the quiet rhythm of the sentences. Occasionally, the shopkeeper would glance over and ask, without any judgment in his voice, "Everything making sense so far?" At first, my answers were short. Yes, mostly. But as the afternoon went on, I found myself talking more freely. I asked him questions, too, about the shop, about how long he'd owned it, about which books he loved most. "Almost 30 years now," he said, smiling at the shelves around him like old friends. "My wife and I opened this place together. She passed a few years back, but I kept it running. Feels right, somehow, keeping the shelves full." There was a quiet sadness in his voice, but also something steady and warm. I didn't know exactly what to say, so I simply said, "I'm sorry. It's a beautiful shop. I think she would be proud." He looked at me for a moment, then nodded slowly. "Thank you. That means more than you know." We talked a while longer, comfortably, without any pressure to fill every silence perfectly. Toward the end of the afternoon, as I stood to leave, he asked, almost gently, "Is there anyone back home you think about often? Family, old friends?" The question caught me slightly off guard. "Yes," I said quietly. "A close friend, actually. We haven't spoken properly in a long time, not since I left." He nodded, understanding. "Sometimes Distance makes us quiet when really we have the most to say. Writing things down, even if you never send it, can help sort out what's really in your heart. I did that myself after my wife passed. Still do sometimes. I thought about his words the entire walk home. I hadn't spoken to my old friend in months, partly from busyness, partly from something harder to explain, maybe guilt, maybe simply not knowing where to begin after so much silence. That evening, sitting alone in my small apartment, I found myself staring at a blank piece of paper, wondering if I finally had the courage to write down everything I had been too afraid to say out loud. Before we finish today, I want you to know that sometimes the most meaningful conversations begin in the quietest places, with people we least expect, and sometimes the words we're most afraid to say are exactly the ones we need to write down first, just like Anna is about to discover. Next time, Anna finally puts pen to paper and writes the letter she's been avoiding for far too long. If you want to know what she finally says, and whether she finds the courage to send it, make sure you're here for the next story. If this story helped you today, please subscribe to English with Confidence so you don't miss what happens next. And if you know a friend who is also learning English, share this video with them. You might be exactly the encouragement they need today. Thank you for spending this time with me. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and I'll see you in the next story.